If you think Lewis Hamilton's slow start at Ferrari is shocking, you're not paying attention, because one person saw it coming from miles away, and he's not even wearing red anymore. Carlos Sainz, the man Hamilton replaced, has just broken his silence. And what he said flips the whole narrative. He's not mocking, he's not defending, but he is revealing something crucial, a truth that most fans, and even some journalists, are refusing to see. Why is a 7-time world champion being outpaced, outqualified, and outshone? According to science, that's exactly what was supposed to happen. So what does he know that we don't? And why could it take more than half a year for Hamilton to truly fight back? Let's connect the dots. You're watching F1 Prime News, the channel where we go beyond the surface, beyond the headlines, and dive into what's really happening in the world of Formula One. And today we're not just talking about results or lap times. We're uncovering the mindset behind the champion's struggle. Because when Carlos Sainz said he expected Hamilton to face these problems at Ferrari, he wasn't guessing. He was speaking from experience. You see, both drivers made huge moves this season. Both walked into unfamiliar garages, new engineers, different philosophies, and cars that don't behave like anything they've driven before. But here's where it gets interesting. Sainz believes Hamilton's current pace is not a failure. It's the natural cost of switching teams at the highest level. And what's more, he warns that even 6 months might not be enough to reach peak performance. Still think this is just a slow start? Keep watching, because what Sainz said next will change the way you look at Hamilton's entire 2025 season. Just before the Miami Grand Prix, Carlos Sainz stood in front of the press and said 5 words that caught everyone off guard. "I'm not surprised at all." That was his reaction when asked about Hamilton's ongoing struggles at Ferrari. 5 races in, and only 1 win over Leclerc, back in the Shanghai Sprint. No hesitation, no sympathy, just calm certainty. Why? Because, according to Sainz, no one can jump into a top team and instantly outperform a teammate who knows every inch of that car. And in his words, both Charles Leclerc and Alex Albon, his current and former teammates, are already performing at the maximum the car allows. So when you're the new guy, trying to do better than someone who's already operating at 100%, you're not climbing a mountain, you're scaling a vertical wall, blindfolded, while learning a new language. And Sainz made it very clear, Hamilton's not failing, he's just not superhuman. What makes this story even more compelling is that Sainz isn't just talking, he's living it. After leaving Ferrari, he joined Williams, a team in transition, and immediately found himself trailing his new teammate, Alex Albon. It wasn't until the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix that Sainz finally finished ahead of him. Same story, different paddock, and that's exactly why he's not shocked by Hamilton's experience. Both drivers stepped into unfamiliar territory, both had to adapt to a car built for someone else's driving style. Both are chasing teammates who've been with their teams longer, understand the systems, the engineers, the quirks, the setups. But here's the catch. Hamilton is not just any driver, he's a 7-time world champion. So when he's outpaced by Leclerc, the headlines scream failure. Yet when Sainz faces the same uphill battle, it's just called part of the process. That double standard? It's what Sainz is quietly trying to challenge. And what makes Hamilton's struggle not a flaw, but a fight for reinvention. Behind every lap time, there's a maze of variables: engine maps, brake bias, differential settings, suspension stiffness, tire preparation. Carlos Sainz knows this better than most, and he says Hamilton is now facing all of them, all at once. "You cannot imagine the amount of variation," he said. "Just to make the car reach the same lap time, you can take completely different paths." Think about that. The same time on the stopwatch, reach through completely different setups. Now imagine trying to figure that out, weekend after weekend, without the benefit of years inside the team. Sainz is experimenting constantly, high engine braking, low engine braking, tweaking every parameter, just to learn what his new car responds to. And Hamilton? He's likely going through the same storm of guesswork at Ferrari. This isn't about raw talent, it's about translation. Converting instinct from a Mercedes-built world into Ferrari's unique engineering DNA. And until that translation is complete, performance will never be perfect. Sainz didn't sugarcoat it. He's still searching for his eureka moment. That instant when everything finally clicks and the car responds exactly how he wants. Until then, he admits, he's getting things wrong. Every weekend, he tests something new. Engine braking levels, differential maps, balance settings, just to see what sticks. It's trial and error at 300 kilometers per hour. Now apply that same reality to Lewis Hamilton. You're not watching a legend in decline, you're watching a master go back to school. The difference? He's doing it under a global spotlight, in a scarlet car that demands instant glory. Sainz made it clear, this is the price of change. And when Hamilton finally unlocks that feeling, when he finds that one setup that aligns with his natural rhythm, that moment will be electric. because in his words, when it works, it feels like a eureka moment, and that moment could come at any time, or not for months. For those asking, when will Hamilton finally deliver? Sainz has an answer, and it's not a short one. To truly know a car, he said, you need at least half a year, maybe a full year. That's not an excuse. It's a reality check from someone who's lived it in 3 different teams. And here's the twist, performing at 99% is still possible early on. But that last 1%, that's where championships are won. And that only comes with time, mistakes, and adaptation. Sainz's words suggest that what we're seeing now is not the final version of Hamilton at Ferrari. It's just the beginning. A beginning that might feel frustrating, disappointing, even underwhelming. But that's because the bar is so high. Hamilton isn't just expected to compete, he's expected to conquer. And that's why every race he spends learning, adjusting, recalibrating is a step closer to the version of Lewis that nobody will be able to stop. Not even Leclerc. So the next time you see Hamilton behind Leclerc, don't ask if he's finished, ask what he's learning, because behind every 1/10 of a second lost is a notebook of discoveries. And when that book is full, when the setups, instincts, and data finally align, we may witness something unforgettable. Carlos Sainz didn't criticize, he didn't defend. He reminded us that greatness takes time, even for the greatest. Hamilton's journey at Ferrari isn't a sprint, it's a build, a transformation, and every step, even the painful ones, are part of that process. But now, it's your turn. Do you think Hamilton will find his eureka moment this season, or is this just the beginning of a long uphill battle? Let's talk in the comments, and if you want more insight, more truth, and more of the stories that others won't tell, subscribe to F1 Prime News. We don't just report the news, we decode it.